What is going on with y'all YouTube? It's your boy Blue J 10. I am back again with another one, man. Now's the time to go ghost. Now's the time really to set your focus on your priorities and anything that matters in your life. Because what we don't realize is that we often get caught up in these cycles. And these trends that we follow at whatever time that may be, they set us back and they set us further away from our purpose. And what this does in the long run is it puts us in this headspace to be complacent, while everything that we've ever wanted to do is just slowly starting to drift away. But when you go ghosting, when you establish this mindset to just take yourself out of that position and be mainstream, it's a lot easier for you to stay focused. It's a lot easier for you to stay locked in when you don't have to worry about being the center of attention. And with me personally, I know that some type of change needs to happen in my life when I have that sudden urge to just move differently. Mentally, I may not be responding to certain things the same way, or I just feel like I need to go. I feel like I need to get away. And at that point, if you're in this position, if you're having those same thoughts or similar thoughts, you have to take them in and realize that now is the time for you to go ghost. Now is the time for you to remove yourself from all of your friends and people that just want to hang out and really put all that time and attention into reaching your goals. One thing that going ghost taught me that I never would have learned until I put myself in that position is the fact that you're not missing out on anything when you decide to invest in yourself. When you take that time away, when you remove yourself out of certain environments or away from certain people, and you lock in and put all the attention into yourself, you realize that that investment is way more worthwhile than anything that you would have been doing if you would have stayed, or anything that you would have been doing if you decided not to go ghost. The idea of going ghost itself doesn't just change you mentally, but it changes you physically. You start to work on yourself like you never have before. When you put yourself in a position to be isolated and away from everything that makes you feel comfortable, that's when you actually start to dig deep and get to know yourself. That's when you start to unlock new parts of yourself that you never would have imagined existed unless you put yourself in that position. So if you're in a position right now where you may have dreams or something that you've been wanting to chase, just think about what you have to give up in order to get there. Think about how you're spending each and every hour of each day, and ask yourself if you're doing the things necessary in order to make those dreams happen for yourself. And if not, then it's probably time for you to go ghost. Because even with myself, I'm somebody who gets so caught up in routine and habits that I can slowly start to drift away when I allow myself to get a little bit too comfortable. So that's why I feel like it's very important that we have to stay on top of it. We have to be proactive rather than reactive and plan ahead for times like that. Because no matter who you are, there's always going to be a point where you ease up or you take your foot off the gas. But those have to be the critical moments that you pay close attention to what led up to that very moment. What caused you to feel comfortable? What put you in a position mentally to where you feel like slightly easing up and taking a break? Because that's what we need to avoid. And what it boils down to is the fact that we believe that we have time. The majority of people genuinely believe that they have time to put certain things off and they'll get back to it later. But I'm here to tell you today that it's actually the complete opposite. The longer that you tell yourself you have time, the more time you're going to waste missing out and postponing the things that you should be taking care of. But this sense of gratification that you get from being in the mix, none of this helps build you up to what you want to be. It's more of an outlet than anything. And the way that I view outlets is that each and every last one of us has something that we turn to make us feel a sense of comfortability. And that sense of comfortability is something that we have to pay close attention to, because if we allow ourselves to get too comfortable, it's going to be easy for us to get off course. But we don't have time to be distracted. We don't have any more time to give up to the things in the world that are pulling us away from our purpose. If that's a person, they have to go. If that's an environment, you need to find a way to remove yourself. You need to put yourself in a position to go ghost and really lock in on whatever it is that you want to do. And even myself, I told y'all at the beginning when I first started this YouTube channel 5-6 months ago about my brand and how I was kind of starting off and stuff like that. And even with me, I've been in the same position because I've just been in this position where I felt comfortable and I haven't been pushing things how I should have. So what that calls for is just me having a complete mindset shift and realizing that, now's not the time to slack off. Now's not the time to adapt that mindset of feeling like you genuinely have time, because you don't have time. And the more that you lie to yourself, the more and the longer that you're going to be without. We all have a purpose. We all have somewhere that we want to be. And in order to get there, we have to really keep our foot on the gas and keep pushing forward. Train yourself mentally to not easily get off course. When you put yourself in a position to not rely on the next person's opinions or ideas that they may have on your life, it allows you to think for yourself. It allows you to rely strictly on your logic, make decisions based off what you believe is best for your life. And when you do this, it makes it possible for you to gain confidence in yourself. Because if you can't live and make decisions for yourself, if you're constantly relying on everyone else to dictate and guide you through life, you probably won't have a sense of courage or confidence or even trust in your ability to go out and make your own decisions in life. But when you go ghost, it makes it possible for you to gain those things. It makes it possible for you to go through trial and error and figure things out on your own, putting yourself in a position to not rely on the next person. If you need help, give yourself some time. Really try to dissect the problem and figure out things for yourself. Put some type of pieces together in order to change your current reality without always running a mom or without always running a dad. Because we know the people that we love are always going to be there for us. But sometimes all we really need is to be there for ourselves. Sometimes the more that we allow people to help us, the more we're being unhelped in a sense. Because the more that you take from the next person, you're crippling yourself in your ability to go out and make things happen. And developing this form of a crippled mindset is just going to make you more reliant on the next person when you should be reliant on yourself and your ability to go out and get the things that you want. But one thing that I learned about going ghost is the fact that when you do decide to come back, your presence is valued more. Oftentimes when we're constantly in the mix and we're constantly in certain environments, people are just familiar with us. Our presence may not matter as much. And the more common that something is, more likely the less valuable it is. So just removing yourself out of that position of just being so familiar will ultimately just build up your self-worth. It'll make people see you as more valuable by simply removing yourself and only coming around when necessary. Just think about any of the friendships that you have. If you were to see your friends once a month and each and every last time that you saw them, you transition or you've grown tremendously, they're going to value you way more. They're going to look at you like, man, every time I see them, they got something else going on, or they're building, or they're working towards this. They're going to feel inspired. They're probably going to be around you or want to be around you more. And to me, this is nothing more than a compliment. It's something that you take in and use as motivation, understanding that you inspire those around you. So you got to keep pushing forward, and you got to continue to build what it is that you're building, because not only are you elevating, but those who are witnessing this form of growth are also learning and taking notes from the steps that you're taking. Now is the time to go ghost, because if not now, then when? Ask yourself that. If you do not decide to go ghost right now, then when will you ever have the time to go ghost? We make time for the things that we want. When you want to go out and party, you make time for that. No matter what, you push things and put things to the side, right? We need to have that same type of mindset when it comes to us growing, when it comes to us trying to conquer and pursue things in our life or make anything happen. It should be very little talking and more action, especially when it comes to us trying to put things together and open up new doors for ourselves. But I really just want y'all to take that in. And if you've been postponing this idea of going ghost or just waiting on the perfect time, stop waiting. There's never going to be a perfect time. If you got something you need to do, do it now. If you have the chance, if you have whatever you need available to make it happen, go out and do it. But it's no more waiting. And even myself, this is something that I feel like it's time for me to do too. It's time for me to lock in. It's time for me to stop hanging out and stop trying to be cool or whatever the case may be. Simply because we all have work to do. We don't have time. Eliminate that idea from your head. There's no time. You need to put in the work, and you need to put in the work now. Now is the best time and the only time for you to get this stuff started. So after you finish watching this video, make you some notes, get you a calendar, and plan out the things that you need to do in order for you to go ghost and put some in action for yourself. Summer is nearly over. I think summer is actually over. So now's the perfect time to remove yourself and to really get it going. But if you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you so much. It's your boy Blue Jay Tay. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all, man. Like I said, lock in. Now is the perfect time. You don't have nothing to lose. You don't have nothing that you're going to be missing out on that is not going to be there. All it takes is just making that conscious decision that this is something that you want to do and then pushing forward. Even with myself, like I said, now's the time for me to get it going. Now's the time for me to lock in. And I really want to see y'all do the same thing. But I'll see y'all on the next one. Once again, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Peace.